About
Great.
2 minutes, we can begin now.
All right.
There. Meeting is live streamed. So, hi everyone to our viewers in our Facebook page and all our social media accounts. This is Ronjalu once again from MSA Immigration, and we're joined by Sir Angelo and Miss Katie from CONVO. So, hi guys. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Oh yeah, good afternoon. But Miss Katie, it's what time is it there in your place?
It is 12 p.m., so it is a lunchtime here in Dubai.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
very far from us.
And our day is about to end. You're in Dubai. Have you had your lunch already?
No, I had a late breakfast so I could prep and be just ready to go for this.
Cool,
Sounds
cool.
great. So for today, we'll be talking about IELTS, and we'll be defining why it is important to our student applicants and why is it more than just an education requirement. So before anything else, we would like to give the floor to Miss Katie and discuss to us all about CONVO.
Great, thank you, Ranjalu. So as introduced, my name is Katie and I am the founder of CONVO, which is an online IELTS study platform that helps students prep for the IELTS exam. A little bit about me, I have been an ESOL teacher for over 8 years, and ESOL stands for English to Speakers of Other Languages. So I first started teaching in Seoul, South Korea, and then moved to Dubai, where I was teaching here. And Dubai is where I decided to start CONVO. And the reasons for this is because I noticed my students were having a lot of trouble prepping for IELTS. They found that because the test is really comprehensive and there are a lot of different parts, they weren't sure exactly how to go about prepping for it. You do have really big institutions like British Council and IDP, which are great resources, but they can be a little bit inflexible with their scheduling. You know, you have set classes and you have to be able to attend those classes. And they can also be quite expensive. And a lot of students don't have the financial resources to afford these prep programs. On the other hand, you have free options available, you know, on YouTube, on the internet, but you're not really sure the person who's leading those and giving those free resources, you don't always know if they're credible or what their background is. And often they can be incomplete or disorganized. And to really score well on this test, I feel personally you need kind of a more structured, organized approach to preparing for it, because again, it is really comprehensive. So I thought, wait, you know, there must be a way to make IELTS preparation convenient and accessible and also credible. So I'll say, not to kind of toot my own horn, but I do have a lot of teaching experience. Like I said, over 8 years. 3 of those years were spent as an adjunct professor at Konkuk University in Seoul, South Korea. I have a Harvard teaching certification and Cambridge IELTS teaching certification. So I do have credentials to put behind CONVO. And really, my whole thing for starting CONVO was that the IELTS test can be life-changing for the people who take it. And I wanted to provide people with better options than what was currently available, you know, because moving to a new country to migrate or to study abroad in an English-speaking country, it's a huge challenge. And I believe that IELTS should not be a roadblock. You know, it should be something that is accessible to everyone. You know, So yeah, I really believe that high quality, credible and convenience IELTS prep should be available to everyone, regardless of their location, their financial situation. And I really wanted to offer that as an option. And so CONVO itself it's built on a student portal system, right? An LMS, which is the same that is used by a lot of large universities, including universities in the Philippines. So it's familiar, it's high quality, and then best of all, it's extremely structured and organized to help students learn better and faster. So that's my that's my introduction.
I'm actually checking your website. Is it possible, Jello, that we can share her website, join our convo?
Sure. I'll just make you co-host so you can share your screen.
Oh, perfect.
I accidentally muted you, Sir Jello. I'm so sorry. You can unmute now.
How dare you? You're embarrassing. All right. Yeah, I'll open your
yeah.
screen. And maybe go ahead, Jello. I'll just open the screen. Gonna close some windows.
So yeah, that sounds great, Miss Katie. Actually, for Australia, if you're enrolling for higher education courses, IELTS is really a requirement for all students enrolling in higher education, regardless of what course, for as long as it's bachelor's or master's, it is a requirement. And they do have higher score expectations. So for masters, normally they would require a score of 7.5 to 7.0 with no band less than, of course, 7.0. And for vocation or bachelor, some courses, they do accept 6.5 with no band less than 6. So it's quite high for our takers. But with CONVO, I believe it is achievable, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. CONVO is geared to give you between a 6.5 and a 7.5, but that is dependent on your English level going into the course, because what CONVO really does is it teaches you strategies on how to answer the questions. So there are a lot of students who have very high English levels, but they don't necessarily know how to answer the questions on the test. And that can make their score go down. But by taking CONVO and using CONVO to help you prepare, we teach you how to answer questions, and then your score is just going to keep going up, essentially, because once you learn strategies, you're able to apply them to the test and really increase your score. So definitely would be a great way to help you prep for getting into universities in Australia.
All right. So, Sir Jello, I think your screen is ready now.
Yeah, it's ready. I'm just browsing it. Am I supposed to ask a question?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if you have a question, please.
All right. Well, I do have a few questions. Don't mind me, Katie. So I'm not super familiar on how IELTS really works. I'm not sure if you know the Philippine setup. It's like Filipinos are quite allergic to IELTS. I don't know why.
I've heard.
Yeah. Though it has been an ongoing requirement for anyone who wants to study, maybe in Canada, Australia, USA. Schools are usually requiring it. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, correct me. CONVO basically is a review service for a person who wants to take IELTS, right?
Correct. We help you prepare for it.
Okay. So what do you think will make it? The pricing is good. I check it. It's around 2,500 pesos, $50, right? Very affordable. How can they pay for your classes? That's my first question.
Oh, how can they pay?
Yep.
So if you notice on the website that there is a tab at the top called IELTS Access Plans. So yeah, if you scroll down, you'll come to 3 green boxes.
There you go.
here. And so what we offer are duration-based access plans, and you're going to choose the one that best suits your study style. So for example, if your test is in 1 month, it would be best to choose 30-day access because you will only need our services for 30 days. And then someone who, works full-time or has a family and is quite busy, 6-month access might be best for them because it will give them just a longer period of time in which to study. And what you do is you just choose which plan you want. You click enroll now. And you're taken to a screen that allows you to pay online. So check out here and then give it a second. Yeah, you go and you pay now. And then you are automatically enrolled into our portal system, and you'll receive an automated email with your login details. And you are actually able to log in directly on our site. We have a tab at the top of the website that says login. So you can pay with any major credit card. You can pay with PayPal. Just basically like you would purchase anything online.
How about debit card? Because I don't have credit card.
Yeah, sorry, credit card, debit card, MasterCard, Visa, any of the major payment options.
Cool. If I'm understanding this, you mentioned this is a platform. So basically there'll be, is it like you can access it anytime, or you'll be teaching them one-on-one, like a scheduled class?
I understand. One of the reasons we're able to keep the prices low is because it is a guided self-study experience.
Cool.
So it is all pre-recorded videos that I have created along with interactive workbooks. So once you sign up, you buy your plan, you have 24/7 access to the platform, and you watch the videos and complete the workbooks at your own pace.
All right, that's good. Now, so a question popped in my head because I was thinking, with the Filipinos right now, despite the fact they're allergic to IELTS, they don't really review much because they feel that they can just access the material anywhere. As you know, the Philippines, I usually call it like the Americas of Asia. We're very much westernized. Our culture is very much like the US. So if ever, I mean, I guess, how do we explain to the Filipinos how important is it for them to take the IELTS, the review? Like, it's really something that they can use long term. What do you think?
Well, the IELTS test is quite expensive. And so if you sign up and you take the test and you don't prepare for it, the odds are really high that you might not pass it your first time, because the way the questions on the test are written are very specific. And the test is more about, can you answer the questions the way the test wants you to answer the questions? And if you're not familiar with the type of questions that will appear on this test, the odds are high that you won't answer them correctly. And I often say that even a native English speaker might not do well on this test if they are not familiar with the question types and how to answer. So I think a lot of people think, okay, my English skills are good. I can just go in and take this test and it will be fine. And unfortunately, because the test is so structured and it has so many specific types of questions, that doesn't often happen. And many students find that they don't pass the first time, or they don't get the score they're aiming for. And then they have to retake it. And then that is just an additional expense. And it can feel really defeating, if you go in and you think, yeah, I have this, and then you don't. Well, it really hurts your heart,
So you're saying, Katie, like IELTS, because for me, my mindset, I was thinking maybe IELTS is just a typical exam. So To
Mm.
correct everyone who's watching right now, IELTS is not as simple as that, correct?
No, it is not. It is not.
Okay.
It's complex.
Okay. So,
Yep. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I mean, IELTS really has a strategy towards it, right? So
Mhm.
that's why good thing I'm not taking it. So anyway, but yeah, I think that's the one thing, Jalu, Saron, and Katie, that what we should communicate to the Filipinos, to our viewers. Don't be afraid to take IELTS.
Yeah.
But somehow I think the Filipinos have been complacent on how we speak English.
Mhm.
Like we take advantage of it and we try to find options that has no IELTS.
Sure.
Maybe Katie, give us an idea on how important is passing IELTS in terms of opportunities after not only studying abroad, but maybe opportunities abroad per se.
Yes. So it's true. You know, a lot of people are finding alternative paths that don't require IELTS, and that is completely understandable. However, if for people doing that, they miss an amazing opportunity to take this test that is internationally recognized. Okay, so for example, in a job interview, okay, so
Mm,
let's pretend that someone does not plan to study abroad or they don't plan to migrate. But if you take IELTS and you put IELTS on your CV, any potential employer can look at that score and they immediately know what it means. Okay, so
mm,
an IELTS score of 7 or 8 has so much more meaning because it's internationally recognized. It's accepted by over 11,000 organizations globally in 140 countries. So this test is a really big deal.
mm.
Now, having this score on your CV is more likely to get you an interview. Um, what people often do is they will put their English skills on their
Mm-hmm.
CV, but you know, it could just be some general English classes or from a lesser known program or university. And potential employers, when they're looking at CVs, you know, often they're looking at hundreds of different CVs.
Correct.
And they're going to pass over CVs that have unclear English skills. You know, we're in such a global, international community now. Like the
Mm,
job market is so global. A
exactly.
lot of companies, they're looking for people with English skills.
Mm,
And if they cannot look at your CV and immediately see, oh, this person has an 8 on IELTS, I immediately know they will be able to communicate orally very well,
mm,
written very well. They are fluid and adaptable in their vocabulary and how they can communicate with people. That's so important to employers right now.
mm-hmm.
And having that IELTS score on your CV communicates that immediately. So your CV will stand out. You are much more likely to get an interview.
Mm-hmm.
In a company setting, it's more
Uh,
likely to give you a promotion
mm-hmm.
over someone who doesn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And even just, not even just the IELTS test itself, if your CV shows that you are currently or you have completed an IELTS prep course like CONVO, it shows your potential employer or your current employer that you are hardworking and you're committed and you're dedicated to improving your English skills. And again,
Correct.
your
Yeah.
English skills are really important for companies now.
Exactly. And I think what most listeners or watchers right now who will maybe like is if you got that value presented very well, especially with your English skills, you can get a higher salary. That's it. Right? So
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
It's I mean, I feel terrible saying it, but you know, we all know salary is important. You know, it's just, it is. And
Correct.
so many people are looking for a higher salary to give themselves and their families a better quality of life. And I really think that that's at the heart of why I want people to have more accessibility to IELTS prep and to help them pass, is because passing this test can help give you that higher quality of life. It can help you provide for your family. It gives you so many more opportunities that maybe
That's
you
true.
don't even know about, you know, that maybe you're not even currently considering.
Mm,
Like maybe you finished university, you're not planning to study anymore, but no one knows what is coming in the future. You know, maybe your company suddenly has a posting for a job in Canada that is your dream
mhm.
job, but you didn't take IELTS, you're not fully prepared, you're not going to be as ready to jump on that opportunity to get your dream job as you would be otherwise. And I just, this test can really help you achieve your goals, get your dream jobs, you know, just the opportunity to move other places in the world, or stay where you are and just have a higher salary and a better uh, job title.
That's
So
true. That's true. Question, Katie. This is my Jello. Just interrupt me because I talk a lot. Okay. So, how,
me too, me too.
how different is IELTS versus TOEFL? I
Mm,
think you also have CELPIP. I don't know. Like
hmm,
because for me, I'm not right now. Filipinos are honestly going towards Duolingo because of
yes,
the pandemic. So maybe you
sure.
can tell us a difference about that.
Duolingo. Well, Duolingo is a great app. I mean, it's really good for learning a language. It totally is. The problem with it, though, specifically, is it's not really recognized as
Mm,
much abroad. It doesn't
yeah.
have the same weight and gravity as IELTS does. You know, if you were to show a potential employer that you completed your Duolingo courses, that's awesome. But because IELTS provides you with a very objective assessment of your English language skills, it's
Mm-hmm.
still considered a much better benchmark of your language skills. TOEFL's good. Like, I mean, I think that you know, if people are wanting to take TOEFL, that's a good option. But again, it still does not have that same weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look quite as good as IELTS does on a CV. Potential employers. So that's really why I still think that IELTS is the best option for people who are looking to really prove their language skills and their capabilities, because it's just so recognized.
That's true. That's true. All right, let me go back to your app because I'm thinking maybe I'll purchase one later, but I feel like I need some improvement, something more formal. But if for example me, if I'll be purchasing the cheapest package because I'm a cheap guy, how long do I have access to it? Is
Um, it depends on the duration you choose. So if
ah
you purchase the cheapest one, which is our 30-day access plan, you will
oh
have
that's
access for 30 days. Um,
oh
let me
see
say, oh,
selective reading. It's already there. 30-day access. Go ahead.
what we've created with Convo is for that 30 days, you have 24/7 access to the entirety of the platform. That includes the preparation for the academic IELTS test,
Mm-hmm.
and also all of the videos and workbooks for the general IELTS test. Um, so the preparation for the general test contains 4 6-hour workshops and
Okay.
4 interactive workbooks. And then the academic preparation also has 4 6-hour workshops and 4 workbooks. So for the duration of your plan, you have access to all of that. Which is a lot of study hours and a lot of time and work.
Correct.
There are over 120 practice activities across that. There are practice tests in the workbooks for every section, at least one. So you are really getting a lot of practice and activities that you can do on your own.
All right.
So
Jalo?
Jen, since you said that you're a cheap guy,
I'm proud of it.
if you can see that Convo's pricing is already affordable,
It is, yeah.
we can give you MSA special. We do
Yeah.
have this discount code with Convo, so we can give you
God.
that so we can
Man,
reduce
your
the price more.
your transition is so cheesy, man. But go ahead, go ahead.
So yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, we do have this exclusive discount code with Convo and MSA, which will reduce the price for more 25%. At
Really?
least. Yeah,
That's
so
not an overreaction, but that's really affordable. Seriously.
yeah,
Okay.
it's 25% off of the price that you can see on the website. So it's a really big
Wow.
thing, and it really fits, Convo really fits MSA's affordable mantra. So yeah,
Correct.
and making
Wow.
everything accessible and affordable is something that we Filipinos love,
That's a big discount. Actually, I'm already thinking that I'm gonna offer this because before I went here, I was talking to a few students just to share. Katie, I told you I talk a lot, so I have some students who are now required to take IELTS for September fall intake next year at Canada. So I'm telling them, just go for IELTS, don't go for Duolingo, because to everyone who's watching as well, Duolingo as of the moment, to be honest with you, as I see it, is a temporary solution for schools, mainly because of the pandemic. So there's a big chance they will be going back to IELTS by next year. So as early as now, please do. See, my transition is much better. Go check with Convo, with MSA, and it's very affordable. We have big discounts. So, but yeah, the review will really help you out. And don't be complacent. I think to my Filipino friends out there, as you know, the transition of some schools who are now requiring IELTS, it shows that we are not where we used to be, confident speaking English. And at the end of the day, it's really a connected world, especially with social media. So you need to be at least fluent and very good at it. So yeah, check it out. Anything else,
Awesome.
Jalu? My transition is good, right?
Amazing.
Yeah. I think it's much, I must learn from you. I think I must enroll in your classes for transitions.
Yeah, I like this. I was asking Jalo a while ago. What's Convo? I like the name, and I checked the website. So at least do we have these kinds of options right now? It's much easier, and yeah, and you can do it anywhere, right?
Yes, I think that's one of the beautiful things about it is it's online, 100%
Correct.
online. And it makes so much sense. I mean, the pandemic really changed education, and everything had to suddenly shift to online, and
True.
so I really do feel like e-learning is so much a part of the future. And that's why, at Convo, we thought, oh, wait, we need to really lean into this online learning because it's one of our pillars, accessibility. We want to be able to reach people who maybe the nearest IELTS Prep Center is far away, because that's a lot of people actually. But with Convo, if you have a computer and you can study a little bit at home, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ranjulu was saying, we've got this great partnership, and we're
Yes.
really so excited to be partnered with MSA. They are doing such great work, and they're such amazing people to work with, you know. And so we're really excited for this partnership, and we love that people can take advantage of the 25% discount across all packages, because it really does help people who maybe think, you know, oh, if only it was a little bit cheaper, I could better do it. Well, hey, we've got
This is
it
an
for
investment, and it's a
you.
good one. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I have another question. How different is, I know the purpose of academic versus general IELTS, right? But what you're teaching on your platform, does it have a difference if you're pursuing, for example, academic, then eventually you're going to go general IELTS?
Well, it really depends on why you're taking the test. So
Okay.
the general IELTS training is mostly geared for people who want to migrate, because
Yeah.
it's geared towards everyday life and conversations. So if that's your purpose, or if you just kind of want an IELTS score on your CV, you would be taking the general IELTS test, most likely, as it's geared for day-to-day life.
Sorry, I mean your platform. You're teaching, because it's a pre-recorded, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
is the teaching geared towards general or academic IELTS?
Oh, it's both. It's both. So
Good.
yeah, actually, I can just share my screen really quickly and show you
Sure.
what it looks like. Let me just.
Because for most of our students, they're required to take academic first, but then after 2 years, they're gonna go general. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I will say the general test is easier.
So it's perfect practice, really.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let me just pull this up.
Sure.
All right. Perfect. Okay. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so this is what it looks like when you purchase an access plan and you log into our portal system. So you'll see here you've got general, and then you've got academic. So again, you have access to both of these for the full duration of your plan. Okay. I think it's true. A lot of students are required, or they're taking academic first, and then maybe they want to go back and take general later. But yeah, once you go into it, they're set up exactly the same. They just cover slightly different content. So you go in, and then here we go. We've got your 4 workshops for IELTS academic. So writing, speaking, reading, and listening. And then inside each, you've got all of the different sections. So we've got an introduction, we've got all the sections going through the writing workshops. So I'll just show you quickly what it kind of looks like when you get in here. You get your student workbook. You know, it's a fillable PDF that you can download and save to your computer. Sorry, I don't remember what the answer to this question is. I'm just gonna type in some things.
It's cool.
But yeah, you go through and you watch the video, and
I like the logo.
Thank you. Me too. Oh, whoops, it's freezing.
Hi.
Oh, it froze. Sorry, my internet connection is kind of going in and out.
Don't worry, it's normal here.
Huh. That's sad. Let me just see if I can get it real quick.
Wow, this is cool. Okay.
Ready to continue.
Okay.
Now, there are answers and
okay, so this kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like. Is you play the video, you listen to me talk a little bit, I'll teach you something or I'll give you a tip, and then I'll say, hey, all right, you guys, what I want you to do now is turn to activity 1 in your workbook. I want you to complete it and then come back and keep watching the video. And so it creates this kind of interactive experience for students. But yeah, to go back to your question, we have both, you know, academic and general on our site. So if you wanted to, sorry, that's the admin page.
Oh, good statistics.
Whoops. Yeah, it is. It's really nice for us to be able to look at and see
Good
everything.
business.
Whoops, not supposed
Okay, it's okay.
So yeah, if students, for example, they need to prepare for the academic test for university, and they purchase a 30-day access plan.
Yeah.
They study only for academic in those 30 days. But after the 2 years, if they want to come back to CONVO and they want to study for the general test, they would buy another access plan. They would, instead of going into the academic section, they would then go into the general workshop section, which is set up really similarly. It's got all of the same, you know, it's got videos and workbooks. So same structure, but just different content. And then that time, students would then just go through these workshops to prepare for general.
But in a nutshell, like the gist of it, how different is general versus academic? Like, is it more juicy words for academic? What's the difference?
Exactly.
Really?
So, yeah, academic, it's really geared towards people who are doing higher education or whose jobs are in certain specific fields, such as, hold on, I have a note. Okay, so a lot of medical professions require academic, law, veterinary, accounting, engineering, and finance. So really it's geared towards higher education. So the vocabulary is a bit more advanced, more juicy, as you said.
Highfalutin words that I don't understand. Seriously, they do that?
It's really interesting. As I was researching IELTS and learning more about it, there was a lot of vocabulary that I was like, I don't know if I've ever heard this word used before. So, so yeah, the main differences in the test, both tests have 4 sections.
Okay.
The writing and the reading sections are what are quite different. So for example, the IELTS general test, the writing section, you have 2 tasks. One is to write a letter, and then one is to write an essay. But IELTS academic, task 1 is to write a report based on a graph or a chart. So that's completely different vocabulary than writing just a general letter to a friend or to a company. And task 2 in academic is also writing an essay, but the questions are harder. The essay questions are harder and more difficult, and they expect higher level vocabulary in your essay. And the other section that's different is the reading section. So IELTS general, the readings are actually, they're taken from sources like, I don't know, magazines or internet articles. So they're slightly easier to comprehend, and questions are a little bit easier. But academic, the reading selections come from academic publications or journals. And so the vocabulary is higher and different and a little bit denser and harder. So those are the main differences between the tests. And that's why IELTS academic is geared more towards people who are going to university or in medical fields or in fields that are going to require that kind of higher vocabulary. Whereas IELTS general is really geared for migration or just kind of, maybe you want it on your CV because it's much more day-to-day conversations that you're going to be having in more of a social or more of your like work life.
Understood. Understood. Okay. That's amazing. Maybe I should really take IELTS someday. It's gonna be a good experience, right?
Yeah, I really think so. I really do. It's just, even if you don't think you'll need it anytime soon, it's such good professional development that you never know that will come in handy later down the road.
That's true. That's true. All right, Jalu, any more questions? I'm convinced I'm gonna be taking IELTS very, very soon for sure.
Great.
Sounds great. So just let me know so I can enroll you and give you the 25% discount. So, I think all good on my end. Basically, Miss Katie and I had a conversation before we started all this, and IELTS is just like the exam you take when you want to work abroad, for example, in Japan or in Korea. So it's still the same. It's just you have an advantage. You have a background in English. So it makes it more easier than when you study for the Japanese language or the Korean language.
TOEFL, yeah. Have you done TOEFL, Katie? You said you were in Korea, right? You were teaching in Korea before?
I was.
Okay.
Yes, I have. I feel like I've helped cover all of the major English tests that are everywhere, you know. My South Korean students are very education focused, and they are taking every test and prepping for any test you could possibly ever maybe need. And so I've been involved with all of them.
That's cool. That's cool. All right. So Ron, going back to you, what's the next?
So what's the next? Of course, to our viewers in Facebook, 7 of them. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat box so we can answer them, particularly in IELTS, about IELTS. And of course, if you have questions directed to Miss Katie, of course, we can accommodate them.
I think we really need to educate the people about the importance of IELTS, slowly but surely, yeah.
Then sooner or later, they'll need it
they will
eventually.
They will. Correct.
Yeah, it's completely understandable wanting to avoid it. You know, it's kind of a scary, big, expensive test, but the benefits from it are so worthwhile.
Exactly.
It's worth just going for it. And again, a shameless plug for CONVO, but what really is important to remember is that this test is very challenging in how it is structured, but if you understand the strategy and you understand how to answer the questions, you are going to be great. You know, it's not as scary as it has to be. And I think that's really what a lot of people don't understand, is that if you just invest some time in learning the strategy and how to answer, you're going to do a great job, and it will be worth the cost of the preparation and the test in future benefits. And that's what we do at CONVO, is really help you learn strategy and practice. And I think that that's what makes us different than a lot of other IELTS prep services.
That's true. That's true. And I think CONVO can be #1. So if ever you become a millionaire, Katie, are you joining?
About us.
Are you joining seed funding programs? Let me know. Okay.
Definitely will.
Okay. Jalu, back to you. For me, I don't have any questions, but yeah, maybe I'll just give one advice to everyone. But yeah, I've reiterated many times that I know Filipinos are afraid of IELTS because they think it's an expense. And I think during the discussion, we have emphasized how IELTS is not an expense, but an investment. For God's sake, guys, you're paying like how many thousand, sorry for my English, thousands of pesos, but you're afraid to pay like additional 10, 12, 15,000 pesos, something's wrong with you. Priorities, guys. But seriously, even if your school does not require IELTS, go take it. It's a good start, good practice, and you just need to know the keyword I always use. Even if you graduate in Canada or Australia, but you don't know how to leverage, that's the keyword. That's gonna be useless. So take IELTS. It's a good leverage for your career and success. So here
Absolutely.
I am. Yeah. Go
An
ahead,
I
Jackie.
think
investment for your
that's
future.
overthinking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People are just overthinking about it that, oh, maybe it's hard. But I think when they
Yeah.
jump right on it, they'll learn to love it and they'll appreciate the advantages of taking IELTS. So,
100%. 100%. It's worth it.
so do you have any more, Sir Jello?
No, none. Probably, Katie, one last word from everyone, and you can do a not so shameless plug of Convo. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I mean, so, Convo there, and that's the thing is there are so many options out there. And I understand that it can be overwhelming. Like, what is best for you? Like what program should you use? And I will say that I have done my absolute best to make Convo accessible and fun and enjoyable, I hope, for students who are taking it. And I bring to Convo a lot of experience teaching non-native English speakers. And I really admire and impressed with people who are taking these English courses to help improve their lives and their job opportunities. And I hope I bring that, to Convo in the way I approach it. And I try and make it a really welcoming and good experience. And, you're getting so much with it, the way it's set up, the structure and the organization makes it so much easier for students to just get on. And then the way I've organized it just really helps and takes you through step by step. It eliminates confusion. It eliminates that
Sure.
feeling of overwhelmingness where not knowing what
There
to
you
do
go.
next, and so it's just, I think it's a great way to help you prep. Like, it's affordable, it's accessible, do it from home, do it in your pajamas. I just, by taking Convo, by taking our courses, you are going to be prepared to just march in, take that IELTS test, get your preferred score, throw it on your resume, and then your just entire world is just gonna open up so many opportunities and possibilities. So
Right.
I hope
Well said.
yeah.
Well said. Definitely. Convo, guys, you've seen the website, and personally, I love the logo. Who made your logo, Katie?
Thank you. Actually, it was.
Are you plugging him as well? No.
Oh, sure. His name
That's
is
okay.
Samir Khan. He is one of
Oh.
our Convo team members, and he is an amazingly talented creative director, actually,
Wow,
graphic
that's nice.
designer. He's fantastic.
Great
You
logo.
should
Great
see the
logo.
creatives they sent to us for marketing. It
Uh-huh.
looks great. So everything is scheduled to be posted on our page. So to our viewers out there who would like to enroll in Convo's review, so you know what to do. Contact MSA and visit our websites at the www.msaimmigration.com and of course www.joinourconvo.com. So
Yes.
when purchasing your review package, just use MSA Immigration 25 for 25% off of your purchase price. So thank you, Katie, for today, and thank you for all the insights you've shared to us. I believe you were able to convince Jello push through with this IELTS exam. So
Trust me, I someday I'm gonna take it. My dream is to be fluent in Korean. I'm gonna finish TOEFL first, then go for IELTS. Who knows?
Nice.
But
Oh,
yeah.
you can do it. You've got this.
Thank you, Katie. We enjoyed
Thank
the
you,
talk, and
guys.
hopefully this is not the last time we'll be talking to you. Okay.
Oh, definitely. I would love to do this again. And I really appreciate you both, your
course.
questions, taking the time to speak with me. Thank you so much.
Anytime. So you have your lunch
Lunch,
or
yeah.
in between lunch and
And
snack.
off to go eat.
All right.
Yes. All right.
Take care, Katie. See you
All
guys
right.
soon.
Take care,
very
you
soon.
guys.
Happy weekend.
Friday. Happy
Bye-bye.
weekend. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Goodbye.
guys. Bye.